What did we just see? What did we just see? Ladies and gentlemen, unreal. I told you yesterday, football is footballing. This is a prime example. We went from one of the most boring snooze fest Manchester derbies of all time to an all-time classic in the space of 4 minutes. 4 minutes is all it took for it to go from 0 to 100. Real quick. Football is footballing. Manchester City are finished. Absolutely finished. Game over at the Etihad. Man City have joined Man United in the graveyard. The only thing is, it was Man United that buried them. How has this happened? Football is footballing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are well. It's not over on this channel because you've got the Chelsea-Brentford review coming out after that game. Hopefully, listen, Chelsea have such an opportunity this weekend. Oh my God, we must beat Brentford. We must. But this game, oh my goodness. I mean, look, we have to be logical here. We have to be real about this game. It was poor. For 86 minutes of that game, it was poor. It was dull. Nothing happened. It was diabolical. Slow. I mean, up until that point, Man City looked poor and Man United looked dead. Right? For that first half, especially, to give an indicator of where the game was heading, Man City looked lethargic, loads of mistakes, but Man United looked scared. Man United looked weak. They looked like they didn't want it. They weren't coming out. Whereas Man City, with all the space that they had, but they made themselves look like they didn't have any space. I mean, no one was moving. No one was getting into good positions. You'd have the odd occasion here and there, the odd shot, but tons of individual mistakes coming from poor passes, poor touches, poor controls, poor shots, poor everything. And we saw the antics of Kyle Walker dropping down on the ground like a 3-year-old. I mean, what in the blue hell was that? Really poor. Really. I mean, look, he should have been sent off for that. I saw a clip of Vinnie Jones earlier on talking about this point as well. How if you're going to try and make it look like something's happened to get your opponent sent off, and then we realise that, you dived, you should get sent off. And it's absolute fact. Kyle Walker should have seen a red for that. End of story. But that was the first half. That was just how it was going then. I'm thinking, surely it's going to pick up. Surely it's going to pick up. I mean, City going 1-0 up was just Man United. Poor set-piece defending. They can't defend a set-piece to save their lives. I mean, how many goals have they conceded from set-pieces this season? It's criminal. It's criminal, you know? We've got Arsenal that are meant to be set-piece FC. United are the anti-set-piece FC. They just don't know how to do it. So it goes into the second half. And you see Man United like they're trying, right? But it's bland. There's nothing. There's still nothing. But Man City, this is the problem with Man City. You're playing a Man United team that look like they don't know what they're doing. They genuinely look scared, fearful, and that they're trembling and they ain't got a clue on how to come forward. And Man City can't use that. This is where, look, they were 1-0 up and it was just remaining like that. Up until the 80th minute, and I swear, I was watching the game and I was going, City can easily just crumble here. They can. If City were playing a top team today, they would have been destroyed. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, United, if you actually give it some balls, you can get something here. But I honestly didn't think United would. I was at 85 minutes, I was prepared to say, okay, City are gonna win this almost by default, because that's how the game was going. It's just poor. Overall, the game up until that point was basically Man City are poor and Man United are dead, right? But like I said, Man United were in that grave and they decided to rise out of it for about 5 minutes. Don't worry, they're still there. Go and look at the Premier League table. They've gone back into their grave. They're still 12th, don't worry, right? But they have dragged Man City into their own grave, right next to them. Man City, welcome to the graveyard. Welcome to the graveyard. Now you are in parallel with Manchester United's tombstone and gravestone that says Manchester United 1878, 2024. Now there's another one next to it called Manchester City, 1880 to 2024. Simple as that. Because the turnaround, the penalty, again, look how Man United got that penalty. Now, some people are going to say the Højlund challenge was a penalty. For me, that wasn't a penalty. Good decision. But the way that they got that penalty to equalise and make it 1-1, look at the individual mistakes there. Flipping hell. That pass, horrible. And then to redeem himself, he comes in for the challenge and he doesn't even think about the challenge. His head's already gone. His head is absolutely gone. Long gone. Absolutely takes him out. I don't know what Younes was thinking there. Don't know what but again, maybe his head was gone. Maybe his head was gone because of the mistake initially. He tries to redeem himself and he just makes it 25,000 times worse. He didn't even need to make the challenge. You know? It was Amad Diallo, wasn't it? He's literally, look, you've caught up to him. You've caught up to him. Now just stay goal side. Just stay goal side and don't let him come in. Just don't let him come in. Wait for your teammates to come back, get into position, and just hold him. Just hold him there. You don't even need to make a challenge. Just try and contain. He goes, no, I'm going to break both his legs off. And gives away a penalty. Gives away a good penalty by Bruno Fernandes. I got to be honest, I was waiting for him to miss. I thought the pressure would be too much because Bruno missed that sitter earlier on in the game, and I'm like, nah. That's when I was like, nah. You know what? Yeah, United. You if you want it, it's there, but you don't want it. And City are now going to walk away with this 1-0 win when they don't even deserve it. No one deserved the win today. It was that mad. But in the end, that's up until that point. In the end, what Amad Diallo done for that second goal? What a touch. I think that was the best action of the whole game. Just because of how technically wonderful that touch was. It was something beautiful. What a joy. As a neutral, to see a touch like that and a finish like that, at that moment, with that pressure, because it is pressure, you have a chance to win the game for Man United at the Etihad against Man City, to sink them in a Manchester derby even further into the ground. Like I said, so much so that you've basically buried them with you, right? And he's done exactly that. Beautiful touch. But again, look at how that goal came about. Individual mistakes. City, oh my God, City are finished. But Amad Diallo coming in, goes around the goalkeeper with that touch, slots it in. I don't know what defender was it. Was it Diaz? But the defender goes into the net. I don't know, he basically scores himself. Horrible. Absolutely horrible from Manchester City. And Man United literally nick it in the death. Unreal. Like I said, we've gone from one of the most boring snooze fest Manchester derbies to an all-time classic that people are going to talk about for years. Because this isn't about Manchester United winning. United are 12th. Like, for me as a Chelsea fan, I'm happy. United won. Great. Now I don't want you to win again. This was the only game I wanted United to win, but you're still 12th. Cool, we haven't got to worry about, we haven't even got to look at United. I say that as a Chelsea fan, by the way, okay? From a neutral perspective, yeah, Man United can now think about trying to get themselves out of this situation that they're in, but they have absolutely dragged Man City into a whole new one. And this is what the whole talking point is going to be on now. Manchester City losing in this way to Man United in a boring Manchester derby where they didn't even do anything. And now what is it? It's 1 win in 11. 1 win in 11. I've said this before and I will say it now again. I am convinced that Manchester City know that there's punishment coming their way with this 130 charge business. I think they know that they're in for something huge. There's no way a club like this collapses with the quality it has and a manager like Pep Guardiola in this way. Nah. I refuse. Unless Pep Guardiola all of a sudden doesn't know what he's doing. Is he finished? It's one of two. It's either Man City know that they're in trouble legally, and there's big punishment coming their way. Maybe players are panicking. Maybe even Pep's thinking, crap, I got to get out of here. Maybe the players are like, I've got to find a move. Maybe everyone's down tools because they know what's coming. Remember, the hearing for the 130 charges, remember it went up from 115 to 130 before anyone tries to point that out in the comments. The hearing is done. Man City have already been to court with the Premier League, with all of this that's going on for the hearing. It's done. The hearing's done. Now everyone's waiting for the verdict. Everyone's waiting for a decision. That's going to come apparently next season. We'll see. There's a lot of evidence to go over. But both sides already know what the courts have heard and what they've said. Right? Man City will know, based on those hearings, if it's looking good for them or if it's not looking good for them. And I think, based on the performances we're seeing, the collapse that we've noticed, that we've seen, I think Man City know they're in trouble. Big trouble. Big trouble. And I think it's panic stations. That's what I believe. Or is it option two? Has Pep Guardiola lost his mind? He genuinely doesn't know what to do anymore. Is it the end of Pep? What one is it? Because those are the only two possibilities I can see here. They have a top quality team. This isn't normal. It's not normal. It's not. Their attitude looks poor. On the pitch, they look slow. I mean, first 25 minutes, literally, it's a Manchester derby. I'm seeing Man City players literally walking. What are you guys doing? This is Man City against this United team, who are poor. They are in the grave. They're not even in the trenches. We were in the trenches. United are in the grave. And they're doing this to you. City are finished. City have been resetted. City have been brought back to the main road days when they were losing 8-1 to Middlesbrough. Was it 8-1 or 8-0? I think it was 8-1. I always go back to that game because I remember watching that as a kid and I was like, they're rubbish. And then they got taken over and then they got loads of money and whatnot and it worked for them and I have nothing against that because so did we. But with all the resources they have, and this is what Man City are playing like, no. I think they're in trouble. I think that these charges, I think they know something. And I think they're in a pickle. I think they're going to be in big trouble. But in terms of the footballing side of things at the moment, Man City are finished. And right now, the Premier League, as it stands, right, the Premier League table, Man City are in 5th now, behind Nottingham Forest. And only 2 points ahead of Aston Villa and 3 points ahead of Bournemouth and Fulham and Brighton. Man City, if they're not careful, could end up 8th. No, 9th. They could end up 9th in a couple of games if this continues. Unreal. Liverpool are now 9 points ahead of Manchester City and Liverpool still have 1 game to play. The title race is, as far as I'm concerned, over for Man City tonight. It's finished. Man City, done. You are not winning the Premier League title this year. It's over. And again, all good things must come to an end. That is just the way life is. I'm not just saying that for Man City. All good things must come to an end. It is the way life is. But the title race right now, I think, is down to 2. Liverpool and Arsenal. You see what I did there. Chelsea-Brentford review is coming out after the game, so make sure you guys are there for that. And look, Liverpool dropped points, Arsenal dropped points, City dropped points, United gained points, but they dropped so far down no one cares. Chelsea have something huge here. We can do something monumental. All we got to do is beat Brentford. So make sure you guys are here for the review after that game. And congrats to Man United. At the end of the day, for this result, it's big for Amorim. They went and got a win at the Etihad. It's huge. And they didn't look like they were getting it at all for 86 minutes. So the way they turned it around in 4 minutes is remarkable. So fair play for that. And Man City, do we actually have to start asking questions about Pep, at least in the short term? Is that what needs to be done? Or is there something bigger happening here? Like I believe, I think it's bigger. I think Manchester City as a club are heading into big trouble. And I think they know it. I just don't think the public knows it, but I think they do. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I will see all of you later in a bit, people. And peace.